Welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses at Centre Equestrial La Luce. It's a bit like Live and Breathe Dogs today. So today I want to talk about being silly. And I mean, being silly, messing around, being childish and silly, I think is a very healthy and good thing to do. But why this came up, because somebody was telling me about behaviour of their horse and said, oh, he's just being silly. And this is really, I think horses don't do that. You know, it's like we do that with our children. And when we do that, we're really judging from our perspective. How is that thing, shh, Winnie, shh. How is that? It might be nothing to us. You know, I heard on one of these shows years ago, but it always stuck with me, about somebody that had a phobia of buttons. And you think, well, how silly, I mean, how could you be scared of buttons? But of course, to that person, it was a big thing. And that leads me into the point of this. So my lovely friend, Farrell, who's a very wise lady and psychotherapist friend of mine, and I asked her one day about the, you know, I used to say to people doing the breathing exercises, does it make you, don't worry if it makes you feel silly, you know, it's just me and you here, nobody's watching, blah, blah, blah. And then she said to me, silly is not a feeling. And I thought, well, what is the feeling then? So the feeling is actually fear. So if, you know, when you feel silly, it's fear. You're scared that you're going to look ridiculous, that somebody's going to laugh at you, you're going to be harshly judged, whatever. And that brings it back to the thing with the phobia. You know, you think that's being silly, but it's a real fear. So I think to take our horses seriously, and our children, or friends, or anybody, you know, and not to say to people, oh, don't be silly, because nobody wants to feel afraid and uncomfortable. So it's not like they're doing it on purpose. And when we put that on our horse, that's really a human thing, that I think horses just don't do that at all. So yeah, it's just something to really consider, because we all do it, you know. It's not always easy to come out of ourselves and see things from other people or especially other species point of view. So it's something, when you say that, it's one of those phrases just to catch yourself being silly, you know. Obviously not being silly, messing around, being silly, that's fine. But when something's not going and somebody else, or a horse, your animal, is struggling, to say to them, don't be silly, is really not helpful, because it just makes them feel worse. To you that might be silly, but to them, obviously it's a big deal, or there wouldn't be an issue with it. So yeah, that's a fun little conversation today, for me anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, what do you think about that? I'd love to hear from you. Yes, I don't know. I thought I would sit here with the Buddha today, and haven't been down here for a while, so it's a nice place to sit and contemplate, and yeah. Thank you for being here with us today. We'll see you next time, and keep tuning into the light.